Hey, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I'm a little late today. I had stuff to do, but hey, we're here. We all know why we're here. Chapter 6, Book of Boba Fett. Before we get started, again, shout out to another channel that I watch a lot, Katarn. He's a reaction channel. Honestly, I thought I knew a lot about Star Wars. This guy puts me to shame, so definitely check them out. Star Wars content, games, shows, movies, animation, the whole nine. I'm going to do some highlights here, and then I'm going to talk about some bigger concepts because this episode had, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. This was a roller coaster. So we start off back on Tatooine, and the Pikes are exchanging spice for credits or whatever. And then we hear a familiar voice. Look over. Well, howdy, stranger. We got Cobb Vanth, Timothy Oliphant. Wonderful, great performance. Love his voice, amazing. They try to do a quick little showdown. Cobb Vanth guns down three of the Pikes, lets one of them go. Probably a mistake. Foreshadowing there. And title card, Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 6. From the desert comes a stranger. That doesn't sound ominous at all. And we then head off, and Mando's in his, it's not the Razor Crest, the Razor Blade. Sounds cool, I think. What do you think? And we're going to another planet. It's a very green, very lush planet. And we see this familiar little sensor thing, and already, we already know what's happening. Yes, it's R2. And in this little scene R2 has, he's got more screen time than he did in the entire sequel trilogy. So kudos to you, John and Dave. R2 takes him to where they're building the Jedi Academy. So I believe, from what of my own research, this is Yavin 4. If I'm wrong, please someone drop a comment, let me know. And we see like these worker androids, and they're building stuff and building stuff and building stuff. And R2 all of a sudden just powers down. My job's done. Cool. I'm taking a nap. Boba. Mando is saying what's going on. And he sees the androids there, making him a little bench. You're going to be here a while. Take a seat. It's cool. We're then panning through some of the greenery, the landscape. And there they are. Little baby Grogu. Meditating. And then we see Master Luke. Shamook, you done earn your paycheck. That was amazing. The deep fake they have here. Oh my gosh. So good. Grogu hears a frog. Lunchtime. And again, with the deep fake and the puppetry work, I got nothing. It was absolutely amazing. Grogu and Luke are communicating as they can. They go for a little walk. Oh, I also like this little juxtaposition, the little switching of the roles where Grogu has lifted a frog. Luke then lifts all the frogs. Go back to Empire Strikes Back. Luke could lift a rock. Yoda could lift a starfighter. Reversing the roles. So great. Luke then tells Grogu that he reminds him of someone. And the music playing, and heartstrings are just being pulled all over the place. And Luke asks if Grogu remembers back home. Do you want to remember? Luke's going to help Grogu remember. What a memory. We get a perspective from Grogu's eyes of Order 66 happening within the Jedi Temple. The 501st is mowing down Jedi. The memory stops right as the clones are going to go and get Grogu. So we still don't know who took Grogu from the temple. My guess is Jocasta knew. Make that just note that now. Jocasta knew. Then Mando's chilling, taking a little nap. R2 pops awake, guns drawn. Ahsoka Tano. At this point, my emotions are just welling because if you've seen my talk with Alex on the Salt and Nerd Monday show, my love for Ahsoka Tano is unrivaled. She is one of the most amazing characters in all of Star Wars. Din and Ahsoka have a conversation about Grogu. Din wants to see him. Ahsoka says, that's not a good idea. I warned you about this. That attachment for a Jedi is not a good thing. And he wants to give him his little present because he's a Mandalorian foundling. What if he's a Padawan now? Din agrees to leave. And as the razor blade, I'm calling it that now, takes off, we see little Grogu reaching out. He feels him. He knows he's there. And Ahsoka even mentioned this, that Grogu misses you very much. But his development is more important than your feelings. We then go to a little training montage where Luke asks Grogu to jump. Adorable. And then Luke brings out the training remote. And Luke turns it on. And it still has that stop motion feel to it. Callback to A New Hope. Amazing. And he gets a little zap. And prior to the remote, they do a running through the forest kind of thing with Luke having on his back, again, switching the roles, doing the flips and whatnot. And when the remote goes to zap Grogu a second time, Grogu jumps, does a flip, much like Master Yoda did in Attack of the Clones. We have this little montage going through. Grogu's hopping around, avoiding the bolts, the little blasts, and he's making little wee sounds. And then we have Ahsoka coming into frame with Luke Skywalker. Ahsoka Tano in the same frame as Anakin's son. They have a brief conversation where Luke says, I think he's remembering that I'm actually trying to teach him. Ahsoka then says, well, sometimes the student guides the master. Luke says the Mandalorian was here, wasn't he? Yeah, as I said he was going to be. Grogu then stops the remote, looks over at Luke, says, look what I did. And Luke's like, very good, very good. Grogu's been using the Force for a little while. He's a little tired, so he's kind of getting in his nap mode. And then when Luke says to Ahsoka, sometimes I wonder if his heart is really in it. And Ahsoka just turns. So much like your father. I'm going to talk about this later because this was... And then watching other reaction channels for just that moment, just tears. That I'll explain later on. We then go back to Tatooine. Din comes into the palace, and I'm here at the request of Fennec Shand. They go into the throne room and they're talking strategy. We got the mods in there. We got BK. Boba's in there. In case anyone forgot, this is still a show titled The Book of Boba Fett. And then that guy gives a little blurb of information. And Fennec is talking strategy, saying that with BK and Din, they now have the muscle to be as enforcers. What they need is boots on the ground. They need foot soldiers. Din says, I could probably help you with that. Head back out to Mos Pelgo, where Din is met by the deputy. He's a bit hot-headed. But then Cobb Vanth says, I got this. We're okay. He's new. And by the way, on the way to Mos Pelgo, we saw the most pimped out sandcrawler ever with a crate dragon skull as a hood ornament. Stop it. We go back into the bar, and the crate dragon apparently has a lot of uses. The spine and the ribs are now inside the bar as supports. And Cobb Vanth is like, what do you need me for? How does this affect me? Din kind of says what Obi-Wan said to Boss Nass. What affects one part of the planet is eventually going to affect you. You people are good fighters. You're brave. If your people don't step up, it's just this. What's happening is just going to run right over you. Cobb Vanth says, I'll see what I can do. Din Djarin leaves. He's talking to Queequeg. Bring everyone into town. We got to have a talk. It's not our problem, Marshal. It's going to be when they hear what I have to say. Then a wind change. Cobb Vanth looks out. And there's a lone figure. Can't quite make him out yet. But you know it's not good. Cobb's telling people to go inside for a spell. The image gets closer, and we see a duster and a wide-brimmed hat. Cad freaking Bane. You know it's Cad Bane. Stops, just stands, has his head down, so the brim's covering his eyes. First word it says is Cobb Vanth. And that is the voice actor from the animated series. That's Corey Burton, I believe his name is. Has not skipped a beat. It is menacing. It is terrifying. It is intimidating. Cad Bane makes Cobb Vanth an offer. Just lay low. We'll pay you whatever Boba Fett's paying you. Deputy comes out. Marshal's not for sale. You're not helping. We then get the showdown. And Cad Bane hits Cobb Vanth in the shoulder. So he shot the sheriff, but he did shoot the deputy too. He gunned him down. And gives a warning to the people. Just stay out of this, and you'll be fine. No one's going to bother you. As he turns, the wind kind of blows his duster a little bit. Very Clint Eastwood. All that stuff. Josie Wales, Pale Rider, all of that. Just one of the most intimidating villain introductions that I've seen since Darth Vader in A New Hope. It's on that level. We then go back to Tatooine. We're still on Tatooine. We go to the Sanctuary, where two members of the Pike Syndicate are walking into the bar. They sit down, and they got their little thing, the container, which is an ice cream maker back from Empire Strikes Back. I'm really glad that I'm seeing these little nods to the OOT popping up. It's great. They order a drink, but then they walk out. The droid notices, hey, you left your thing. Boom. Well, if anyone thought that Garza Whip was involved in this, nope, she dead. But if you notice, Max Rebo was not playing in the band. Max Rebo seemed maybe Max Rebo is the one who's in on all this stuff. Just throwing it out there. We then go back to the temple, the academy, and Luke finally opens the little gift, and it's a little chainmail shirt for Grogu. It's so cute. I can't. And Luke poses a choice for Grogu. He lays down the little chainmail and then brings out a lightsaber. And he said, "This belonged to my old teacher, Master Yoda." Confused on that, because correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was in one of the comics at the Rise of the Empire, Yoda's lightsaber was thrown into a huge forge with all the other fallen Jedi from the Temple raid. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know down below. But anyway, he presents him a choice. You can either go with your friend, the Mandalorian, but you'll forgo all your training as a Jedi. You'll forgo the Jedi way, or you can stay and train to be a Jedi. What's your choice, Grogu? Cut! Dave Filoni. You madman, you. Oh. So that's a quick breakdown of the episode. And I've been watching reaction channels for a long time, and I watched a few earlier today just to see if I'm not the crazy one, that other people are feeling the same thing I am. And absolutely, this was just, it hit all the right emotional moments. And what I think this series is, I believe the book of Boba Fett's story was the first 4 episodes of this series. The remaining 3 last week, this week, and the finale are going to set the table for the larger story of the galaxy that's in play right now. And so I think with Mandalorian Season 3 and the upcoming Ahsoka series, we're going to get overlaps. So we're telling a much bigger story, and the final 3 episodes of this series are just setting the table for this larger story. Because we know that we're getting, we know that Mando, I think a big part of Mando's story for Season 3 is the reclaiming of Mandalore and what that's going to look like. What this post-Empire, very early New Republic galaxy is going to look like. So we're telling a bigger story. Ahsoka is off to find Ezra. We know we're going to see Ezra. We know we're going to see Sabine Wren. We know we're going to get Grand Admiral Thrawn. Are we going to get anything else? Are we going to get the Yuuzhan Vong? Maybe somebody has, someone, I don't remember who it was, but mentioned possibly Darth Talon is going to show up. So many things that we can pull from here. And going back to the Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker. When Ahsoka said, when she sees Din, I'm a friend of the family. And when Ahsoka tells Luke, so much like your father. So much of my love of Star Wars. Again, and I saw the original trilogy as a child. I was there opening day, May 25th, 1977. My mom still gets a little upset because that's her birthday, and my dad took me to the movie instead. Sorry, Mom. So much of that story is Anakin's story. Because the first 6 movies are Anakin's story. It's his rise as a Jedi, his fall, his redemption. And the Clone Wars, the animated series, adds so much to that story, especially with Ahsoka. And Ahsoka has just become such an integral part, for me, of Star Wars that you can't separate it. She is Star Wars. And hearing that interaction just brings all the emotions into me, because their story is so great, and they were such good friends, and they truly loved each other as like brother and sister, ride or die. And everything that they've gone through, from Clone Wars to Rebels to now Ahsoka kind of being the wise one, passing on her knowledge to now Luke, his son, is just amazing. And I can't wait to see where that story goes, because it's definitely going to get fleshed out more in the Ahsoka series, because we're going to get Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. And I can't wait. So yeah, so great episode. This was a great Star Wars story. Like I said, I think the Book of Boba Fett story has already been told in the first 4 episodes, and we're setting the table for the grander galaxy-wide story. Just my take. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Again, smash that like button, drop a comment, subscribe. I've just noticed that about 33% of you guys who have been watching these videos are not subscribed. What you waiting for? Written invite? I'll make you one. If that's what you want, sure. I'll make that happen next week. And share this video. We know it's coming next week, guys. That's right. Full costume, full makeup. Gonna be a great time. So until next week, until Saturday, whichever little topic I have on my mind pops in. But yeah, in 1 week, kids, this first ride is coming to an end. This first series, and it's been exciting, a lot of fun. So until then, have fun. # keep talking, and always keep that smile on your face. Toodaloo.